The Great Library of Alexandria, the day history died. Imagine a world where every secret of the stars, every breakthrough in medicine, and the forgotten chronicles of lost civilizations were kept in a single, magnificent room. This was not a dream, but the reality of the Great Library of Alexandria. For centuries, it stood as the brain of the world, a lighthouse of knowledge in an era of shadows. But then, it vanished. What if the cures for the world's deadliest diseases were already discovered 2,000 years ago? What if the Industrial Revolution should have happened in the age of chariots? Today, we step inside the ancient vault to uncover the truth behind the greatest tragedy in human history and find out what we truly lost when the world's most important building went up in flames. To understand the tragedy, we must first look at the ambition of its creators. Founded by the Ptolemaic dynasty in the wake of Alexander the Great's conquests, the Library of Alexandria was more than a collection of books. It was a hungry beast. The kings of Egypt were so obsessed with knowledge that they issued a royal decree. Every ship that docked in the harbor had to be searched, not for gold or spices, but for scrolls. Any manuscript found was taken to the library, copied by hand, and in a move of ancient ruthlessness, the library often kept the originals and gave the copies back to the owners. This aggressive pursuit gathered over 700,000 scrolls, creating a concentrated archive of everything humanity knew. Within these walls, Eratosthenes calculated the circumference of the Earth with startling accuracy, and Hero of Alexandria toyed with the first designs of a steam engine. We were on the verge of a scientific awakening that could have changed the course of our species forever. But such a concentration of power and wisdom is always a target for time and human greed. The mystery of how it ended is shrouded in conflicting accounts and centuries of propaganda. For a long time, the world blamed Julius Caesar. The story goes that in 48 BC, while entangled in a civil war in Egypt, Caesar set fire to his own fleet to block the harbor. The flames, fueled by the Mediterranean winds, supposedly leaped from the wooden ships to the city docks and eventually consumed the Great Library itself. Imagine the horror of the scholars watching centuries of wisdom turn into ash in a single night because of a military tactic. Yet, some records suggest the library survived this fire, or at least a portion of it did, continuing to exist in a diminished state. This leads us to a much darker possibility, that the library didn't die in one spectacular blaze, but was slowly bled to death by religious intolerance and political decay. As the Roman Empire shifted toward Christianity, and later as Islamic forces rose, the pagan knowledge stored in Alexandria became a threat to new ideologies. We hear stories of the philosopher Hypatia, the last great mind of the library, being dragged through the streets by a mob, signaling the end of the intellectual age. Some historians point to the decree of Theophilus in 391 A.D., who ordered the destruction of pagan temples, while others blame the later Arab conquest. But perhaps the most haunting theory is that there was no single villain. Maybe the library simply ran out of funding. Perhaps, as the empire crumbled, the scrolls, made of fragile papyrus, simply rotted away because no one was left to pay the scribes to recopy them. It wasn't just a fire that killed the library, it was the world's indifference. The true weight of this loss is almost impossible to calculate. We know that of the hundreds of plays written by Sophocles and Euripides, only a handful survived. We lost the complete history of the Etruscans, the secrets of the Mayan precursors, and perhaps even maps of lands that wouldn't be discovered for another 1,000 years. We are a species with amnesia, walking through ruins of a past we can no longer read. As we look at the digital clouds of today, we must wonder, are we any safer? Or is our knowledge just as fragile as the burnt papyrus of Alexandria? The vault of history is deep, and while the library is gone, its ghost still haunts us, reminding us that civilization is only as strong as its memory. Thank you for journeying into the ancient vault. If you want to help us keep these stories alive, subscribe and join us as we unlock the next mystery of our past.